Hello everybody and welcome to today's reading. In this reading I want to delve into your past life. Now I want to delve into the past life that has the most relevance to your life now. So I want to look at who you were, what your life purpose was in this life, what karma you brought from that life into this life, what you need to know to work through that karma, and to wrap a bow in it, I want to give you an encouraging message from your past self to help you in this lifetime. So if you want some insight into your past life, I need you to pick a pile. Pile 1, we have the amethyst. Pile 2, we have the amethyst. Pile 3, the amethyst. And pile 4, we have the amethyst. I highly suggest that you go with your first gut instinct. Spirit is going to guide you to the pile which has the most relevant information for you. And if you need to take a bit more time to meditate over these piles, please feel free to pause the video here and I will see you in your reading. Hello there, pile number 1. You chose the amethyst and welcome to your reading. Let's have a look into your most relevant past life and let's see whether we can gather some information that can help you out in this lifetime. So to begin with, I want to find out who you were in your past life. So we have Native American and trust and faith. Now this tells me that you could have been Native American, but you would have been somebody who was very connected to your spirituality or your spiritual practice. You could have been quite high up as well. Sorry for my ignorance. I don't know a lot about Native American traditions. But you could have been someone who was like a witch doctor of some kind. Okay, and we have thoughts. Now this tells me two things about you. That you may have been somebody who healed through guidance from spirit. You will have been somebody who healed with the power of the mind. But I do think that this thoughts also talks about the fact that you were so connected to this spiritual path that you were on, that you didn't really have enough space for anything else. And I say this because the man here is thinking about a woman. He has painted the woman. I don't know if that's focused or not. So it may have been that, I do sense that you were male in your past life as well, very strongly. But people who are quite high up spiritually, and again, I apologise for my ignorance, they don't tend to be allowed to be quite free when it comes to their partners, their wives. It's one of those things where I feel like you were somebody who had a lot of eyes on you, somebody where you had a lot of outside manipulation. So you may have been forced to marry somebody and you actually had feelings for somebody else. Now I do sense the initial M. Now the M, my M's sound like N's because my surname is Bradnan and everyone's like, what? Bradnan? Bradman? M for mother. I do sense the initial M. Now this could have been the initial M in the past life, it could have been your name, it could have been your love's name. But I do really sense this M is coming into my mind right now because I do think it may have a connection to this current life. Now you could have an initial M, but it could be that your future spouse has the initial M, either first name, middle name or last name. Or you are actually with somebody right now whose name begins with the letter M. I'm definitely sensing you're somebody who's got that spirituality on lock. Like you know yourself spiritually and you have an understanding of the world around you. And not really in a physical sense, but on a deeper level. I don't think that you're somebody at all who is, who only believes in mainstream science. And I paused because that was something very silly for me to say, because if you're watching this, you're probably on the spiritual path, so apologies there. But I do think you're somebody who enjoys the journey of understanding. But I do think that you're somebody who already has a very strong understanding of our purpose. And I do think you're somebody as well who is able, like when you get sick, I feel like you manifest it away just with positive thoughts. You could be somebody who is very positive, but somebody who also really strongly believes in yourself. And I do think you've brought all of these traits from your past life. I do think in this life, you're a little bit more private. Because in your past life, you were in the spotlight. You were one of the main factors that kept a community going. And in this life, you've taken a bit of a more introverted stance. But I do think sometimes you wonder, why is everyone not looking at me? Why am I not shining? And it's not because you're not. You probably are still shining really brightly because you've got this strong spiritual core. Like your aura is bright and very light colours. A lot of whites in there, but I do sense some pastels as well. Pastel blue, just got that, pastel blue. And actually, there's blue on the Trust and Faith, so yeah, that's quite a pastel blue there, so yeah. But I do think you're somebody who walks in a room and you're like, deep down, you've got this weird urge for everyone to look at you and be like, I don't know, perform, tell us something, do something. Like you've got this natural urge for everyone just to look at you. I don't know whether that makes sense. Now, I do strongly feel that you've got the spirituality on lock, but you really are looking for your soulmate in this life. And I do think it's a soulmate that you had to pass up in your past life. I do sense that you were somebody who had a very strong urge for someone that you weren't allowed to be with. And you only had fantasies of this person because there is no way that you could connect. It was unheard of in your community for you to be with somebody who who doesn't have a strong standing in the community, okay? Now let's have a look at the purpose of your past life. Hero, heroine, passion for a journey of personal empowerment. Now that is a spirit, that's you dedicating yourself to your spirituality there. And the two people are both wearing white robes. And that's spiritual dress. It's like you were born into a legacy to be a spiritual healer, to be somebody who heals with their spiritual knowledge, with their guiding knowledge. And even if you wanted to jump out of this role and you were like, oh, this doesn't feel right, the family, the community were like, no, you do it. This is your role. This is your purpose. And it was. They weren't wrong, it was, but it just meant that you didn't get to indulge in the things in this lifetime that you really wanted to indulge in. I do think you had, prestige because you were needed by the community, but you weren't allowed to live your life. You had to dedicate yourself to God, basically, or whatever God was for you. Spirit, nature spirits. Very strong energy around nature spirits. Now, I don't know whether you're somebody who keeps a lot of plants in the house. Like the house just doesn't feel like home unless it's full with greenery. Now, this is something that I'm going to mention, and you may have your own take on this, but whenever some of my main biggest plants haven't been watered and they need watering, I end up getting a bit of a cough. Now, I'm not somebody who coughs very often, unless I'm really, really sick. But I will find myself like kind of choking. And then I will look at my main plants and I'll be like, oh, they're dry as hell. So I'll water them and the cough will go, the dry throat will go. So I don't know whether you're somebody who communicates with plants, whether you literally communicate with them, you can hear them, or whether they communicate with you with like with your physiology, okay? I do think you wanted to escape from this in your past life. But I do think it was such a, this is helping you so much in this life. Like, you're bringing forward great karma from that past life, great knowledge, great wisdom, a great energy. So it was all worth it. Okay, so let's actually have a look at the karma that you brought from this past life. Okay, we've got homecoming. And this really is you coming home to you. Now, in this lifetime, you have the freedom to take this life wherever you want to. You can be with whoever you want. You can live wherever you want. And we've got affirmation for growth and give love. There's the love. There's the love that you were missing in that past life. And I do really sense this initial M for you guys. This life, you're allowed to be with the one that you want to be with. I don't know whether you're somebody who has a bit of a work ethic, and sometimes you avoid love because it's just a natural instinct you have from your past life. Like a bad habit, like you've picked up from your past life, like you ignore love sometimes. Or you could be somebody who may struggle to open your heart when it comes to love, or open your heart with people. You may be somebody who doesn't like to touch very often, you don't like to cuddle too often. There may be a little bit of a heart blockage in this life, and I do think Spirit is just saying you've already got the flowing energy within you. All you have to do is flow it through your heart chakra as well. Like, that is your weakest chakra, and I do think it's open. I do think it's doing some stuff, but every now and then it gets blocked, and Spirit is asking you to let your energy flow through that chakra, just like you do all the other chakras. I do sense you have a very strong crown chakra. That's probably your strongest, but I do sense a very even energy with you. You're quite well put together, but it's that heart that we're struggling with here. I do think as well you could be somebody who's really scared to commit because you think, oh, it could be that one, it could be that one, or it could be that one, and I don't want to commit because I'm just so overwhelmed by this love thing. Because for you in this life, love is new. Like, you're a toddler who's, well, toddlers love, but not in that kind of way, but you're like the primary school kid who really fancies someone, but they're like, I don't know what to tell them. Oh my gosh, like, can I just get a friend to tell them that I think that they're good looking and whether they'll go out with me? Like, you're the primary school kid that's fancied somebody for the first time. That's your energy in this lifetime. But there is a soulmate that's going to come into your life, and you're going to know it is them. Like, you're going to be like, oh, all those people that I was like brushing away, like, you were brushing them away because you were waiting for this one soulmate who you couldn't be with in your past life. It's like Spirit sends people to you who just don't hit the mark for you, because you're not supposed to be with someone like that. You're supposed to be with this particular one soulmate. And I do sense kids with this soulmate as well. I do think you will have a family with this soulmate. You will grow with this soulmate. And you have the power to manifest this person into your life if they're not in your life already. And please bear in mind that if they are in your life already, this heart chakra blockage where you're a bit cold with them, I mean, that can be in a current relationship where you're a little bit cold in relationships. They're saying, allow yourself to love. Allow that heart chakra to be open and for your energy to flow through, because it's going to make your life a lot easier. This life is your life because you dedicated yourself in your past life. But affirmation and growth, you have the ability, the energy, the beautiful energy to attract this person to you whenever you want, because you actually are a spiritual master. Now, I don't know whether you're somebody who's like, yes, I can manifest whatever I want, or whether you're somebody who has been told that their energy is really nice or really kind of like addictive, or yeah, or whether you give great advice and people are just in awe about the amazing advice you give them. That's because you've done all that stuff in your past life. Like, you've got the credentials, the spiritual credentials. You've got the power to manifest your true love to you now. So if they're not in your life already, you start manifesting them now, because I think you can manifest them pretty quickly. Okay, let's have a look into what you need to know now from your past life. So we've got the Nine of Pentacles and Temperance here. Let's have a look at this as well. Inner temple, devotion, tune into the portal of your heart chakra again. Okay. The Nine of Pentacles is somebody who's got it all, or somebody who seems like they've got it all. Now the Nine of Pentacles is the person before the family. And this may be you now. And even if you're in a relationship and you're very sure that you're with your soulmate, just going to check that we're all good here. If you're somebody who's already with your soulmate, you may not feel like you have it all yet. But this is you now, the Nine of Pentacles. You have the space to make this the Ten of Pentacles, but you're sitting in this independent energy, and Spirit really wants you to merge yourself with somebody else now, because they want you to experience the happiness. Now, Temperance is about merging. It's 1 foot in the water, 1 foot on the ground. It's balance. It's tempering something. And I do think this is that connection to that heart chakra, because I think your heart being closed is the only thing that's stopping you gaining that Ten of Pentacles. And we've got the inner temple, devotion, tune into the portal of your heart. Now that's just a straight up message for you guys. Tune into that heart chakra. That is the purpose of this lifetime. To love, because you've got everything else in check. You just need to tick that box and be with that soulmate and be happy with them and truly enjoy your life. Okay, we're going to do a parting message, which is a message from your past self, some words of encouragement to help you in this lifetime. And I think the neighbours have started playing some music, so I'm so sorry if you can hear this on the camera, but I'm gonna have to keep filming. I'm moving house anyway, so there'll be no more of this. Delight. Enchantment occurs when you least expect it. Open yourself to the charm of the world and tingle with delight. Have no expectations and life is captivatingly beautiful. Look in the mirror and give yourself the gift of delight as you see who you truly are. And at the bottom we've got emotions. Okay, I'm going to read this one as well. Feel your emotions and let them go. Do not harbour bad feelings from the past. Are you falling into the same holes time and time again? It may be time to look for the triggers that create negative feelings and do something about it. Is there an issue that you are too emotional about? Take a step back, breathe, give yourself some space. Love all of your feelings, not only the ones you judge to be good. And I do think that is connected to that heart space, guys. Okay, pile number 1. That was your reading. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please drop me a like, and if you feel comfortable to do so, I'd love you to comment down below. And if you like content like this, please subscribe, because I really enjoy making content like this for you. And I shall see you next time. Goodbye. Hello there, pile number 2. You chose the amethyst. Yeah, you guessed it. Let's have a look into your most relevant past life and see what messages and guidance we can give you from that life to help you in this life. So to begin with, I want to take a look into who you were in your past life. And we've got the scribe or writer. Now, you could have been a creative of some kind. This could be literally scribing or writing. Or this could be poetry, it could be music, it could be a holder of knowledge. Somebody who held a lot of knowledge. But there's creative energy here for sure with the scribe or the writer. And we've got toil and labour. Now, with this, I am really getting the energy that you were a very talented individual in your past life. And you may have brought this into this current life. You could be somebody who finds it really easy to write, somebody who's really good with verbal communication as well, someone who's very extravagant when it comes to their writing, and somebody who can turn a very 2D concept into something three-dimensional for everyone to understand. Gemini energy, we're getting that Gemini energy. But in this past life, I do think you may have grown up in a family where you didn't have the opportunity to delve into your talent. And you may have had to work extremely hard, long hours, and it didn't leave much time for you to indulge in this. So I actually see stacks of paper, but kind of put into kind of like categories. And now I'm really getting books here because I'm feeling like you wrote a lot and there were just so many unfinished books just sitting in your house. You didn't have enough time to go through them, to kind of like edit through them and stuff. You just scribbled whenever you had the spare time. But there are these unfinished books, and I can see a fair stack. There could have been about 6 or 7 of them. And you died on them. Like, you didn't die on them, like, but you never got to share that. And maybe your family inherited these scriptures or these books or whatever they are that you wrote, and they didn't do anything with them. It's actually quite sad because I feel like they may have thrown them to the fire. And I think you were very private about this talent that you had as well. It's not something you shared because I think people would giggle at you and they'd be like, oh, we're working class people, like, we don't have time for, you know, that upper class kind of stuff, writing. Like, I do think you could have been around a lot of people who weren't well educated. Now, I don't know whether you were well educated or not, but you were just so talented. Now, in this life, I don't know whether you actually have, like, novels living in your mind. Like, you have story concepts that you think, wow, I could make a film out of that. Wow, I could write a script about that. But again, you may be putting it off for some reason. And if this is you, I'd love you to comment down below. Somebody who just has a storyline, multiple storylines in your head, and you think, right, I could make a ton of films with, like, my imagination. What you don't realize is those are the books that were never published in your past life. And I really do strongly feel in this life you're supposed to share your stories. And I snorted a bit. And I definitely think this could, if you're somebody who doesn't enjoy writing, this definitely could be YouTubing, public speaking, something like that, where you get to share with people. Take very kind of, I want to say, boring concepts and turn them into something exciting. And that's amazing for YouTube, because I was actually thinking today about a friend who could take a very, like, mediocre situation and perform it in a way where it ends up being really interesting and exciting with embellishments. And then I thought I'm the opposite, where I've got some really interesting stories, but when I tell them, I make them sound really mediocre. But that's just something that came in my mind today. But this could be you. Somebody who can take a very boring concept that no one's interested in, and you have a way of embellishing it to make it sound extremely interesting, and you can get messages across because you're able to communicate these messages, these very boring things that people should know but they don't know because they cannot be bothered to listen to someone boring talking about it. Like, you're the person who can make it interesting. You are a messenger. I really do sense a mixture of fact and fiction with you as well, if this is something you're into. You could easily be someone who doesn't know that you have this talent as well, and somebody who's really into films, fantasy films, graphics. You know a quality script, you know a quality production. Okay, and let's have a look and see what your purpose was in this past life. Okay, we've got bully. Highlights your tendency to intimidate others. Helps you confront the inner fears that bully you. Now, I do think this is very relevant for what we're talking about. Your inner fears stumped you in your past life. And this lifetime is like a rerun of that past life. But in this lifetime, you're supposed to get your, whatever it is, whatever your message is, you're supposed to push it out there. Because in your past life, you didn't have the internet. You weren't able to put up a few lights and pop a camera on and then stream it online. This lifetime, you have everything you need to create. But the only thing that is stopping you is the bully that lives within you. And just please know that if you do have any fears or limitations, it is just your past self wanting this so badly, but also just meeting brick walls constantly because they just don't have the freedom to enjoy life with this talent. And now you're rerunning this life, and you do. I just had a hit, and I don't know whether I want to talk about this, but I do sense a lot of depression in your past life. This could have made you very bogged down. I'm sorry that this is like a more negative past life, but it's great because you're rerunning it. You're putting that past life right now. There could have been alcohol as well. Now, in this life, you could be somebody who is prone to dips in mood. And again, that is just a symptom from your past life that you're picking up on. You may be somebody who, it's a chemical dip. It doesn't mean anything is happening around you, you just get a chemical dip. And I do think once you find this talent again, or push this talent forward, that's gonna stop. Something that you think is medical is gonna stop, just dead. And you're gonna be like, oh, I haven't felt depressed for months. And you'll have a couple moments, you go, still haven't felt depressed. Oh, I guess it's just gone. And I do think this talent, whatever it is that you brought forward from your past life, is the key, because you are doing a rerun in this life. It's definitely a rerun. You're the same soul, same person, different body, obviously same soul. Just second chances. This is second chances for you. Okay. What karma have you brought forward to this life from your past life? Herbal kitchen, alchemist, and I do think this is actually your creativity. You may be somebody who is into, you could be somebody who writes about herbs. Okay, two meanings for this. I do feel like in your past life, because you would have come from a more poorer background. I don't think poverty, I just think a poorer background, like the toil and labour kind of class system. You wouldn't have been able to afford medical treatments. So you may have had to rely on herbs and foods and plants and, all that kind of stuff to heal you. And I do think that could be something you've brought into this life, where you just, you're the kind of person who says, you don't need a paracetamol, just have a bit of turmeric with a bit of soy milk and that'll clear up your period pains. Or somebody who's interested in it. You don't have to be someone who practices it, you could be somebody who's just really interested in it. But I do also think this talks about your creativity and your ability to find solutions, natural solutions. I did mention your chemical imbalance in your brain, the chemical dips. Natural solution is working on this talent, making it work this time. Because this is strong talent. Like, this is not the kind of talent that's just mediocre and will get ignored. This is a kind of talent that if you really push it, you could be one of the best in the field at whatever creative endeavour this is. And we've got listening to wisdom. Now, I do think you are getting nudges in this life that something just doesn't feel right. Like, oh, I'm so like, about life. And it is because you're missing this special thing that makes you happy. Or you're brushing it aside through fears. I do think you're being asked to connect with yourself more. Listen to the voices in your head. I just thought it sounded a bit crazy, but we have them. We have voices in our head. Whatever kind of voices that come through your head, that's advice, jot them down, jot it down, jot it down. But also, it's your creativity that's going to create colour in other people's lives as well. The crow might be significant for you too. I definitely say, when you see a crow, maybe quite a big black crow, you know, the ones that you think, oh, that's a big crow. I really do think they have a message for you. And I think you're going to see them at times where you're thinking something, and it's really important to note down what you're thinking at the time where you see a big black crow. That's that crow's message to you. That's the key to your happiness in this life. That is the key to wrapping up this karma. Because it's like your past life, you have bought all the karma from that past life. As I said, this is a rerun life for you. The source has messages for you. Your inner self has messages for you. Just connect more with yourself. Even automatic writing, or even just writing. No plot in your head, just write. See what comes up. And a lot of the time, I think if you do this and you practice this, you're going to find, oh, it's not a storyline. It's a message for me. From me. Maybe even from you in your past life. Writing a letter to yourself from your past self. That is going to be enlightening. Let's have a look at what you need to know. Oh, this is beautiful. You're guarding yourself. You're limiting yourself. And then we've got the Queen of Swords and the Sun here. The Queen of Swords is the Queen of communication. Direct communication. And the Sun, which is your soul's purpose. You've got a message or messages that you need to share with the world, and this is what's going to bring you there it is. This is what's going to bring you back home. And we've got the owl in there as well, wisdom. The owl represents wisdom, and we've got the card listening to your wisdom. You have wisdom, you have messages. And the thing is, like, you're doing an injustice to the world not sharing whatever this is, because you could really help people with your creative energy, with whatever it is, whatever this talent is. You can really help inspire people. And happiness is waiting for you if you just go for it with this Queen of Swords. Like, this is your soul's purpose. This is the thing that's going to light you up, and you have the chance to have a free life in this life. I don't sense you as somebody who has anything tying you down in this life. I do think you may have a bit of freedom, and the only thing that ties you up is your fears and your insecurities, and they're just brought from your past life. You're supposed to let those go. It's really important to work on letting those go, because you are special and you have a talent and you need to use it. The world needs to see this. Leap. You go first. The universe will catch you. Make moves in the direction of this talent, this thing that lights you up. You know what it is. You know this wouldn't be your part if you didn't know. And you're already doing it. Stop overthinking. Keep facing your true north. And as I said, you know, it's this bully inside of you that's making you overthink everything. I do think you're somebody who's got a very active mind, because this is where your like money lives. It's like your mind is like a money maker. So you're going to always, you know, have an overactive mind, because it's this that you use to accurately and inspirationally pass your message on to others. But it's understanding that whenever this bully creeps in, you're to say no. Stand up to this bully within you, just like you'd stand up to a physical person trying to bully you. Like, I do sense that you'd be like, F off. Do that to your inner bully. Tell them to F off. I do think if you ignore it for long enough, it's going to go away. But you're already doing it. Whatever this is, you're already doing it. Even if you're only doing it once a month, once a year, or you're doing it every night after work, you're already doing this, but you're supposed to push it a bit further, push it a bit more. Okay, this is your life purpose. You can make something of this in this life. Okay, so let's have a look and see what words of encouragement we have from your past self to help you in this lifetime. Surrender. Surrender to the highest force of your being and expect that which is always for your highest purpose. Let go and live. You do not always need to control the direction. Simply surrender to the energy of all. You need not use your logical mind to create miracles. Only know that the answer to a question comes when you let go the need to have that answer. I'm going to repeat that last one. You need not use your logical mind to create miracles. Only know that the answer to a question comes when you let go of the need to have that answer. Okay, pile number 2. I hope you enjoyed this reading and I hope it helped. If it did, please drop me a like. And I would love for you to comment down below if you do have any comments or you just want to claim the reading. And if you like content like this, please subscribe, because I really enjoy making content like this for you. And I shall see you in your next reading. Goodbye. Hello there, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. You chose the amethyst. Let's take a look at your past life and see whether we can gather any information or insight that can help you in this lifetime. So to begin with, I want to find out who you were in your past life. So we have karmic relationship. Now, we all knew that one of these piles was going to be focused on a karmic relationship. And for this to come up, this would have had to have been I'm sensing a long marriage. A long marriage. Now, these guys are in war. The guy's in a war uniform, so this could literally be war times. So we're looking at like 1900 onwards. I think the First World War started in 1920 or something like that, but again, I am so sorry for my ignorance. I do not know the exact dates, but I think I'm correct, I think. And we've also got mature man. Now, I do sense for sure that this mature man was your husband and you were a female in a past lifetime. I really do sense this really empowerment kind of energy with you in this lifetime. You could be a bit of a man hater, and it's okay, all right? We all have our reasons. It could be because our dads were absolute a-holes. Or it could be because you have had a crappy run of men in this lifetime, but it could also be because you've had a very heavy karmic relationship in your past life. Okay, there's always a reason for everything. It either boils down to your childhood or your past lives. Now, I do sense that this man may have held a lot of power, or may have made you feel like they held a lot of power. I do sense aggression. I also sense neglect. And I do sense that this person always expected you to be that trophy wife. You had to look a certain way. You had to dress a certain way, even if it wasn't your style. You had to be presentable at all times, and if you weren't, you'd get neglected. And even when you made an effort, most of the time you'd get neglected. I feel heavy narcissism here. And with the number 5 here, I do sense this person caused a hell of a lot of chaos in your past life. It was chaos, narcissism, chaos. They had to cause chaos. Whenever you looked comfortable, they had to cause chaos. Whenever things are going well for you, they had to cause chaos. You lived a life with this man walking on eggshells. Okay, see if I'm picking anything else up with this. Okay, I do sense that this man is in your life now, in this lifetime, but they could be a father, they could be an uncle, or it could be somebody trying to jump into your DMs or jump into your bed. But I think you sense that this person is a big no. You may have a lot of anger and resentment towards them. I don't sense they're as bad in this life. I sense they're working through a hell of a lot of karma from the past life and they're trying to be good. But it's like they make your skin crawl. Or at least they make you tense up when they're around. I do sense father, uncle. But they don't even have to be a male in this life. They could be a female. But it's like you recognize their energy and you're like, oh, no, like barriers up, no. And it's put you off all types of relationships. I do think you may be very mistrusting in relationships. And even if you don't realize you're mistrusting, it may come out as lack of affection. You don't enjoy being smothered with kisses and cuddles and being held. Maybe being held is quite kind of itchy for you, makes you itch a bit. Because you may have been held or squeezed really tight in your past life. Or shock, I'm sensing like hands on the shoulder and someone's like, are you listening to me? Listen to me. Now in these 2 cards, we do see the plane in the background, a karmic relationship, and the world, the atlas, world atlas, with the mature man there. So you may have stayed with this person because you may have travelled with this person. This person may have given you opportunities that you couldn't have if you left them. You could have lived abroad. I sense Australia. I do sense Australia energy, but I do sense a bit of time in America as well. You may have travelled America if you do live in America. And you may really enjoy travelling in this lifetime. And if you're not travelling now, you may be somebody who fantasizes about travelling. And I'd definitely say that this is something that you're taking from that past life and it's now yours. Like, explore the world. You can go wherever you want now, baby. This is your life. This person isn't here, like, battering you down anymore. You may be called to move abroad, or you may be somebody watching this who has made a big move abroad and you're like, yes, it was the best thing I ever did. And I do think you're going to stay in this area. If you've moved abroad, you're going to stay. This will be the country that you live in for the rest of your life when you do move, or if you have already made a big move abroad. But you will still enjoy travelling. You will still really enjoy plane hopping, country hopping, state hopping. Okay. What was your purpose in your past life? Virgin. like a virgin. Oh God, that was so cringe, I'm so sorry. Maintaining symbolic purity of heart and spirit. This was your purpose. To not be tainted by this negative soul in your past life, this person who told you that you weren't good enough, this person who beat you down, didn't give you any freedom. Your purpose was to shine your pure light through that. Now, if you'd retaliated, if you'd turned sour because of it, you'd have this karma in this lifetime. You'd have to meet the same kind of person and go through it again, but I think you completed it. You stayed pure. No matter what this person threw at you, you remained pure, moral. You were moral to this person. You were, what's the word? Infidelity is when you cheat. What's the other one? Can't remember. But you were loyal to this person. That's the word, loyal. Your soul was never tainted. And you achieved it. I definitely sense you achieved that. And in this life, you've got the freedom. Okay. Let's see what karma you did bring forward from your past life. Ooh, interesting. I didn't expect this. So we've got tarot cards, guidance, and scrying mirror, shadow side. Just said shadow, I just said shadow side. I do think in this life, you are, if you haven't already, I do sense this is early on in your life. So if you're somebody who is under 20, you may be going through this now. But all the crap that you held on to in that past life, all the crap that you just shone your light straight through and you're like, this is not going to get me down. I do sense in your past life, you were probably Sagittarius. I'm really gaining Sagittarius energy. Like, look, I'm going to remain optimistic no matter what this person does to me. But in your early life, I think you may have acted out a lot. Now, this could have been to your parents. It could have been to a father, because maybe your father is the reincarnation of this person. Not for everybody. It could be an uncle, could be a brother, could be a mother, could be a grandma, could be a grandpa. Grandpa, no. No. Or a friend of your father's or your uncle's. You released a lot of darkness in your early years. You acted out, you screamed, you cried, you played up. And you didn't realise, but you were just releasing all that negative energy from that past life, because as a younger person, your intuition was like, I can't hold on to this feeling anymore, even if you don't know where the feeling came from. And just know that that is what that period of your life was, or if you're going through it now, is. You're just releasing all that crap so that when you are 18 and you have your life in your own hands, you don't have to carry that burden from your past life anymore. And we can call that your shadow. You're doing shadow work. You're purging somebody else's SHIT. But again, you did everything correctly. You did everything right. And guidance with tarot cards. Now, you may be somebody who loves dabbling with the tarot, but you're watching this, so surely you've got an interest in the tarot. But if you are not reading yourself, or you don't have a deck yourself, you've got a natural gift for this. Now, I'm getting another message from this, that you, in your past life, because of like the burden that you were put under, I do think you had a strong female community. And I do think you guys actually dabbled in mediumship. I'm sure some of you got the tarot cards out and you dabbled in tarot and things like that. Even a bit of, right, let's hex our husbands kind of thing. Like, oh, I like that. I have a bit of I'm working through a bit of man hate in this lifetime too. It's like, okay, like I need to let go of this, because men are wonderful and I really do enjoy their company, but for some reason when it comes to lovers, I'm like, I do not give lovers an easy time. So whether that came from my past life. Definitely did, guys, it definitely did. No, it definitely did. Okay, tarot cards. If you do not have a deck, you need to get yourself one. Okay, you don't have to be gifted a new deck, that's a myth. Or gifted your first deck, sorry, you don't have to be gifted your first tarot deck, a myth. Buy one, okay, buy one, play with the cards, sage it, do whatever you want to do to make that deck yours and connect your energy with that deck. This is going to be a natural talent for you. Like, you should be doing what I'm doing here, whether it be for friends, family, for the public, as a service, or online. Like, you should be doing this. You have this natural kind of, you've got a very strong natural intuition, but you do have this very powerful feminine energy. I do really sense you are feminine in this lifetime. And if you are a masculine, you may be very strong in your feminine energy. I do not sense I do not sense like a manly man, but I do actually still see, I see a man with like long hair right now, and I don't know whether this person's watching, long dark hair, shoulder length, but long for a male. And I can see them quite muscly. Is this a vision or is this a fantasy? I don't know now. I sense like a tattoo here, but there could be more tattoos. But I sense a circle tattoo here. But this is for you, if that is you. But I do sense that you are a male. If this, if we're talking about this particular male, I do sense you're a male who is very masculine, but you've got your intuition on point. Like your intuition on check, it's your strongest kind of ability, and you're like, yeah, like I have a lot of feminine in me, and that's why the women love me. Okay, and strength and resilience, and we've got a witch here. Now this is the witches, it's a witch oracle deck, so I'm not surprised we're seeing a witch here. But as I said, in this past life, I do think you were in a very strong female community where you did dabble in the occult, let's put it that way, but you did it to regain your power. Now you're supposed to do it in this life too, but in this life you're supposed to spread it outwards like a flipping tidal wave, just like Oprah. You have a tarot deck, you have a tarot deck, you have a tarot deck, everyone has a tarot deck. You are the Oprah of tarot. I'm gonna choke. I'm sorry, I've been really unwell and I'm still quite unwell, but I'm really going OTT. I need to calm down. Woosah. Okay, two little cats down here as well. Oh, cat and a kitten. Are you a single mom or a single dad? You're very protective. You're protective over everybody. And if you've got kids, I mean, whew, like the person who messes with your kids, don't matter what age they are, like you're just like, what are you doing? I'm choking again, I'm so sorry guys. I don't want to pause the video. You're a natural witch. Like, you don't have to have the wand, have the setup, have all the tools. Like, you've got it all within you. You've got the power. And I do think you have the ability to utilize the light and the dark. And I do think it's very important that we do utilize the light and the dark in this lifetime, everybody, because everything is made of light matter and dark matter. It's physics, science, quantum physics, whatever it is. You know what it is. Comment down below if you know what it is. It's dark. There's dark matter that people don't understand in space, but it's dense. It's dense AF, and that means it's powerful. And you know how to utilize both light and dark. You just can. And if you're somebody who hasn't evolved into this in this lifetime, you're not going to be able to avoid it. Like, it's going to be your calling. You're going to find your coven. If you haven't already, you're going to find those females again. Even if it's like a big group of females, you all go out drinking, and then you all reach a certain age and go, should we just stay in and have a glass of wine? And then next thing you know, you've got the tarot cards out and you're a coven. It takes a bit more to be a coven than just getting the tarot cards out, but that coven kind of energy, You are definitely, if you're not already, supposed to connect with people who do this kind of stuff, like the tarot, the occult, the esoteric, all that kind of stuff, the paranormal. You could be somebody, I do think you may have had a lot of nightmares in your youth as well. I don't think you suffer from them now, and if you are suffering from them now as a youth, as you get older, they will go away, because you're going to overcome the fear. You're going to be able to manipulate the dark matter, the darkness, including those nightmarish kind of things, those bad spirits. You're no longer scared of them. And when you're not scared of them anymore, they just don't come at you. Like, they just think, oh, I ain't messing with pawn number 3. She's not scared of me. I won't even make a jump. Okay. What you need to know. What do you need to know? Oh, 7 of Wands. Boundaries. Standing your ground and having boundaries. And Sisterhood of the Rose. Beauty and devotion, priestess, mystic, teacher. Yes. Totally resonates with what I've just said. You are supposed to be a powerful female or feminine energy in this lifetime. If you're male and you've got that feminine energy, your feminine energy is powerful. I definitely, 7 of Wands is Leo energy, and I definitely sense that you're supposed to be doing this publicly. You're supposed to be doing this for this as a service. Or even helping women who are in tricky marriages or relationships, helping them build their strength. You're so empowering as a person. And Sisterhood of the Rose. Sisterhood, the rose. Rose means secrets. Rose means secrets. The occult meaning of rose. Working your magic in the darkness. It's your vibe. Like, you work your magic in the dark. Do you read your tarot in the dark as well? Okay. In this lifetime, relationships aren't your main thing. But it doesn't mean you're not going to meet your one. You just need to stay clear of this energy from your past life. I mean, if you even sniff them, run a mile, time to F off. It doesn't mean you can't love, but you're going to be so much more independent in this life. You're going to be able to be with someone, and they're going to have the kind of energy where they allow you to be you. They love you for you. They allow you to be you. 2 independent people who choose to come together when you wish to make love and do more, you know, make a family, get married. Like, you've got the marriage here. You've got the kids. I really sense kids here. I sense that the kids are already here, but it could be that they're flipping up there waiting in line to come down. They're like, right, when is pawn number 3 getting pregnant? A bit like when you are waiting to jump off a plane. What's it called? Skygliding? Skydiving. Literally, the kids are up there with all their gear on, ready to like jump out of that plane and jump into your womb, or jump into your girlfriend or your wife's womb. They're waiting. God, they're there. I do sense multiple kids, so I don't know whether you are expecting to have twins. I won't even say triplets, and I don't want to scare you. Or it could be multiple kids at different times. But you're going to be so independent. I do sense a really country living with you. Country living, English countryside, or Arizona in America, like kind of out in sticks. Do you know what I mean? Australia, a bit out from the town, like just country living. Sort of a little bit hippie-esque, but you're like a dark hippie. Like, it's really cool. A high maintenance dark hippie. Okay, let's have a look and see what your message from your past self is to help you in this lifetime. just to close up the reading and tie a little bow on it. So we've got creativity. You are the creator of your universe. You have the power in this universe now, in this lifetime. You are the owner of yourself, your body, your mind, your soul. You don't have a man telling you what to do in this lifetime. If you do, that's probably the guy from the past life. You want to not kill him. Sorry guys, you want to end it with him. Whew. You can create, manifest anything. I did say, didn't I, in this, you are a strong manifester. I'm sure I did. Do not limit what you think you can do. You can do anything. Without judgments, you can lovingly acknowledge what you create, which will open the flow for greater creations. Be open to new ideas. Let your artistic expression flow. Allow your inspiration to guide you to new heights. Yes. Okay then, pile number 3. That was your reading. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you liked it, please drop it a like. If you feel comfortable to do so, I would love you to comment down below, or just comment down there to say that you claimed the reading. I'd also love to find out what pile you chose too. If you like content like this, please subscribe, because I love making content like this for you, and I shall see you in your next reading. Goodbye. Hello there, pile number 4. Welcome to your reading. You chose the, can you guess it? The amethyst. Now let's have a look into your most relevant past life, and let's see whether we can gather any insight and guidance for you, which we can pull from that past life and implement it in this current lifetime. And to begin with, I want to see who you were in your past life. So, we have medicine, man or woman, food and hunger, and Atlantis. Okay, oh, an occupation, but we'll get to that in a minute. Okay, now, specifics haven't came out for every pile, but this pile clearly we have a specific. I did notice when I was pre-shuffling your cards, you guys had a lot. Now I don't know whether this is a complex past life or whether you have a complex current life. Somebody where a lot happens, like you never get a moment to breathe. You got a specific, you got Atlantis. I don't know whether you're somebody who feels a connection to Atlantis, whether you're somebody who has looked into the history of Atlantis. But it's this life we're looking at, and it makes a lot of sense. Because Atlanteans were spiritually developed. They were technologically developed and spiritually developed. And this tells me that you are bringing this kind of spiritual knowledge and understanding into this lifetime for some reason. Now you got medicine, man and woman, man or woman, sorry. Could have been androgynous. And food and hunger. Now I definitely sense that you had importance, even though we've got food and hunger, and to me sometimes this screams poverty to me, but I don't feel it with this. But I do think that you were somebody quite important in your past life. Somebody who can save a lot of lives. Somebody who was given very special treatment because you were so valuable. You were a valuable resource to your community. You may have been somebody who gave to charity. You may have been somebody who tried to diminish hunger. Food and hunger. You may have been somebody who had a lot of prestige in a very poor area. Or you helped poorer people, you helped people who had less than you. And this is definitely a trait that you have in this lifetime. You may be somebody who volunteers, you may be somebody who gives to charity, and if not, you may be that kind of person who always gives a tenner to a homeless person and things like that, but you want to help. Aquarius energy here as well. I definitely feel Aquarius energy with Atlantis, but also Aquarius energy with the medicine man and woman, because I do feel like this was alternative medicine. You could be somebody who's into medicinal plants and things like that. You may be somebody who's done ayahuasca. I don't know whether I said that properly, sorry if I didn't. Or you may be somebody who's always wanted to try it, and if you have, my gosh, if you do ayahuasca or something similar to that, you're going to go back to Atlantis. Like, there is no like ifs and buts about it. Like, you're going to see that life, or you're going to see why that life is so purposeful in this life. Now, I don't know whether you are aware of Dolores Cannon's work. And she talks about Atlantis as they had the wisdom, they had the spiritual knowledge, but they took their technology too far and they had to be destroyed. And now we're in a phase in the world, in this current time, where we are either going to go down the same route as Atlantis, or we are going to go down the more tame route and build a kind of more peaceful, harmonious, heaven on earth kind of life. I do sense this kind of energy with you, like you're involved in this earth evolution into like the, I hate the term moving from the third dimension to the fifth dimension, shifting dimensions, because I always think, where the hell's the fourth dimension? And even though I do this, I'm very, I'm spiritually minded and I'm scientifically minded. I think they both intertwine, they both overlap. A lot of the time they are the same goddamn thing. Now, I might have said that because you may be like this too. And if you have Aquarius energy, yeah, you're going to naturally be like it. I really do sense, I don't think you've just had Earth lives. I think you're out of the Earth's karmic loop. So when you sign a contract to come to Earth, you have to complete your karma before you can get out of the karmic contract, before you can get out of the karmic loop. I do feel like you may either be really close to ending it, or your contract isn't with Earth, it's with someone else, somewhere else, someone else. It's with something somewhere else. Or someone else, you never know. Who knows what management is like up there in heaven. You definitely saved lives. You did a lot. You did a lot. Because I feel a very strong sense of comfort in this lifetime, and a really strong sense of not feeling like you deserve. You don't feel like you deserve this life. Like, you don't feel like you deserve the home you live in. You don't feel like you deserve the beautiful car or your beautiful like you're like, why did I get so lucky? And that's beautiful. To be able to say that, that's beautiful. But I do feel like you've asked yourself that a couple of times. Why do I get to be so lucky? I sense healthy relationships around you as well. And if you're not in a relationship, you are going to have a healthy relationship. Like, your future spouse is going to be like top notch, 10 out of 10. Your kids are going to be full of harmony as well. I'm even sensing like giving birth to children, or your wife or girlfriend giving birth to children, and it not being a doddle, because giving birth isn't a doddle, but it just being a beautiful experience. Okay, let's have a look and see what your purpose was in your past life. Goddess, the feminine expressed through wisdom, nature, life force, and sensuality. And when I said that you had some kind of prestige in Atlantis, medicine man or woman, like you were like revered as a goddess or a god. We're going to go with the gender here, goddess, as you may have had a very strong feminine energy. Okay. But I think you deserved this. Like, you weren't royalty. I'm not sensing you were given this place in society. I'm sensing you worked for it. You worked really hard for it. And you sacrificed a lot for it as well. At some points in your past life, you may have gone through hunger, times of poverty, because you sacrificed for this thing. You're a healer. You were a healer, you are a healer. And you're getting so much good karma because you saved so many lives, you helped so many people in this particular lifetime. Okay, let's have a look at the karma. Let's see what karma you brought forward into this life. Yeah. We've got summer and security. And I do think the security is that question of, why did I deserve this life? This life is so beautiful. Why did I deserve this life? It's also your very humanitarian nature. Why do I deserve this home? But then there's people out there who don't have a home. And summer. Now, I do think this is your energy. You have such a light, healing energy. You're so positive as a person. And if this doesn't sound like you, and you're thinking, oh, bloody hell, I'm not that positive, like, or no, I'm actually having a really hard time, like, you have so much good karma coming for you. This is one of those past life readings where I do feel like you're nearing the end of your cycle. Not period, but like your cycle. So I mean, I've got this theory about numerology. The later you are in the numerological life path numbers, like if you're a 9 or if you're 11, 22, 33, they're the master numbers there, you probably don't have many incarnations left on Earth. And I definitely think this is either your last incarnation on Earth or you are really nearing the end. And what you're doing at the moment is you are reaping good karma. So if you're not experiencing this good karma now, my gosh, it's going to come, and it's going to come in dozens for you. You haven't stopped healing, you haven't stopped helping, and you won't. And when you gain this security, if you haven't already, when you gain this beautiful life, this harmonious life, you're only going to have more time to give. And you must give to others, help others, even if it's advice, even if it's just picking someone up when they've fallen. And it's hard because I do think this is what you do anyway. I think this is part of your soul anyway. Like, you couldn't live a life and not help. Like, I didn't mention this card occupation, but in your past life, you dedicated yourself to your work. And that's why in this life, you've been given kind of like a baseline to enjoy your free time. They're saying it's your retirement. You're in your retirement years. Now, that doesn't mean you're in retirement years now. It doesn't mean that this is going to happen in your retirement years, but they're saying that because you're ending your incarnations here on Earth, you're actually in your retirement years, retirement lifetimes now. And I don't know how many you're going to have. It could be one, it could be a few, and I do actually think I'm not getting a specific number because this is a collective reading. It's one for some of you, for sure, but it's like 2, 3 maybe for others. No more than 3. You're not going to have any more than 3. But you are in your retirement years now here. Good things are coming. And when it comes into you, just flow it back out, and it's just going to keep on flowing. Like, you are here now to raise awareness, and raise the collective, raise the vibe. Like, you're the person where people like can point at you and go, they're living the American dream. I can't do an American accent. Living the dream. And rebirth and reinvention. Now, there's dolphins in the back here, and dolphins are so spiritual, but they're also connected to what's the word? They're also connected to like galactic energies as well. There is talks that whales and dolphins are aliens. But they have such a healing energy. Like, they've got the telepathy. Dolphins have a telepathy. Dolphins can communicate with humans through telepathy, or at least a lot of humans can think something and dolphins will pick it up. Dolphins also heal energy. They heal energetically. They can pick up if we've got any dark energy, and they can heal that. That's dolphins are healing. That's why we kiss them. I've snogged a dolphin before. I don't know whether it healed me because I was very young, but yeah, I've had a snog with the dolphin and I would again. Ah, dolphins in Atlantis as well, guys. There's a connection. Oh my gosh, I'm dropping cards left, right and centre. Got dolphins in this card, got dolphins in the Atlantis card. But also, dolphins have that telepathic kind of ability, but we all know that Atlanteans, if you know about Atlantis, if you don't, Google it. Dolores Cannon, Atlantis, go for it, and do your research. Atlanteans were also known to be telepathic. You could be somebody who feels like you just read minds, and I actually do sense, I wanted to giggle then because I sense that sometimes you're like, oh, I wish I didn't know that. It's a bit much, wish I didn't know that. But rebirth and reinvention. We've got some baby turtles down here too. And I do think this is you teaching or showing others how to work through their karma. Like, you're a master at working through karma. You're a master at transforming dark energy into strength. You're a master at taking troubles and turning them into positives. Like, this is kind of you. This is your energy. And I do think this is a symbolism of this being one of your last lifetimes now. And they're telling you to make the most of it. But the main thing I'm hearing is they want you to realise that because the sun is setting in the back, the end, it's the ending. They're wanting you to accept everything you get in this lifetime, because you're going to feel like you're being gifted and you're not going to know why, and you're not going to feel like you deserve it. They're telling you, you've earned it, accept it. This is yours because you've done so much good in the past. Enjoy those retirement years. Okay, let's have a look and see what you need to know. Chariot, Three of Cups, the Fool. The Fool is all about new beginnings. New souls. I don't know whether you've ever wanted to adopt. That's something that's popping in my head. It could be adopting children, it could be adopting animals, building a sanctuary of some kind. I do sense this as you guiding new souls. You may find that you attract a lot of new souls. Now, you'll sense that they're new souls because they're going to have a shine in their eyes like no other. Spiritually, you can sniff them out. And I do find you as somebody who takes people under your wing as well. But I do also think this is connected to you, because this card always confuses me, but I've worked it out now. This is the Mars symbol and the Sun symbol in one. If you're not using your spiritual gifts, you're being asked to do it, because you are here to enjoy your life and kind of spread that positive energy. Hypnotherapy could be something for you, because it's using, like, tapping into the subconscious, tapping into the super subconscious. But I just don't even think at times you even need an art form to understand somebody's mindset, to feel somebody's pain. Like, you just feel it, you know it. Now, this is telling you, with the Chariot and the Three of Cups, that you're moving in the direction of success if you haven't already gained it. And the Three of Cups tells me you need to really enjoy it. And you need to realise it's yours and you deserve it. They want you to enjoy it. Because your enjoyment helps raise the vibration of the planet, and this is what you're here for. You're here to enjoy yourself and inspire others to enjoy themselves too. Raise that vibration and take this planet into the fifth dimension, as much as I really don't like that phrase. I just don't, because I cringe sometimes at silly things. And then we've got Lemuria, creating heaven on earth. It's happening. There we go. That's what you're doing. This is part of your purpose right now. Creating heaven on earth. Public speaking as well. I really do think that this pile, I would really suggest going to get a professional past life reading, because I think it's going to change your life. But this is what you're doing, this is your purpose, to create heaven on earth. What did I say at the start? We're moving from like the 3rd dimension into the 5th heaven on earth dimension. Okay. And the crumbling, what are you clinging onto? And transformation, things are changing at a cellular level, deep healing. Okay. The crumbling is like the Tower card. So I don't know whether there's something toxic in your life right now that you're holding on to. Something that is bogging you down. Because you are a very helpful energy, I do feel like you could be somebody who holds on to negative people for too long, because you're always trying to give them a chance. And I do think this is a message to say no when enough is enough. The people who want to accept the help, give them the help. The people who do not want to accept the help, you are just bashing your head against a brick wall. Move on to the next. Because eventually they're going to get the upgrade. Eventually they're going to get the message. It doesn't always have to be from you. Sometimes you walking away will be the message that they need to change or see something from a different perspective. This could also be you restricting yourself in this lifetime when you don't need to. With the Fool, they're telling you to jump to your freedom, jump into an existence of your freedom, celebrate your life. Could literally be a relationship. Okay, and transformation. And I do think this is what you're doing for other people. You're helping other people transform. Okay. Okay. Right, let's have a look and see what words of encouragement we have from your past self to help you in this lifetime. A load of them have fell out, but I've got patience and caring coming up. And I do think that is your energy. You're patient and you are caring. Right, let's have some words of encouragement, please, for pile number 4 to close off this reading. Honesty. Be honest with yourself. Be honest in your thoughts. What could you try to hide? There are no secrets in the universe. Tell the whole story. Don't hold back. Allow yourself to be open and honest, and the world is open and honest with you. Great pearls of wisdom and jewels of delight flow into an honest heart. Let it be yours. Okay. And that really is. That really is what the reading is. Accepting what's yours. And also, I do feel like you have a lot of hidden knowledge that you may feel is a bit to talk about. They're telling you, you're here to spread the message. You're here to raise the vibration. This is a very woo-woo pile. So if you weren't looking for woo, I do apologise. You've got it. But hey, like, this is you. You got the goddess. Of course you're woo. Yeah, okay. And you've got Atlantis, man. That's the wooest of the woo. Okay then. Pile number 4. I hope you enjoyed that reading. It was a little different to the other piles, but if you did like it, please drop it a like, and if you feel comfortable to do so, I would love to hear from you in the comments down below, even if it's just claiming the reading. I'd love to hear what pile you chose as well. So, if you like content like this, please subscribe, because I really enjoy making content like this for you, and I want to keep doing it. So, yeah, pile number 4. I will see you in your next reading. Goodbye.